It's like the church is asleep. The church is not aware that we are facing a serious challenge. The church is not aware that we are facing a serious challenge. And I'm not going to compromise on that. I'm not going to compromise. I have nobody that I can love too much to compromise that. We will not accept ancestral worship. That we will not accept. Any political party connecting our nation to ancestors, I will pray for his downfall. Any leader that connects people to ancestral worship, I will pray for his downfall. That one I will not even think twice. You may have the best political system. I am first a child of God, and second, a politically correct person. First, I'm a child of God. Anything that challenges who I am first, I have a problem with it. Anything that challenges who I am first, I'll have a problem with it. And sometimes the people are very right, but they are against what I believe in. They're against what I believe in. So I'm very much careful on that. I'm very much careful on that. So we went for a prayer. We prayed 14 hours of prayer, engaging that God must come through for our nation. God must come through for our nation, and we will continue to engage that our nation belongs to God. We will continue to engage. Our nation belongs to God. Someone will say, oh, but some people think it's their culture. It's not our culture. Ancestral worship is not African culture. When people want to lead us astray, they will say it's our culture. It's not our culture. Ancestral worship is not our culture. Read your Bible. When you read the Bible, when God is talking to people in the Bible, say you shall have no other gods but me. You will not worship any idol. You will not have pictures that you will worship. He said there is no communication between the living and the dead. You cannot worship the dead. Was he talking to Africans? No. Check it in your Bible. Who were the people that God was talking to? They were not Africans. But God was rebuking them for worshiping ancestors. Which means people were worshiping ancestors long ago. Long ago. And they were not Africans. So ancestral worship is not the culture of Africans. It is a belief that is against God. The people God was talking to in the Bible were not Africans. And in case you don't know, right now, there's a shopping mall which most people like. I also like it. I also go to it. It's called Menlyn, Maine. If you go to Menlyn, Maine, beautiful shopping mall, there are pictures, sculptures, and statues of men and statues of women, and some are heads. Those statues are not just statues, they are Greek gods. Because Menlyn, Maine was built by the Greeks. That's why Menlyn, Maine, there's a bank called Bank of Athens, which is a bank for the Greeks. The gods who are there are Greek gods, and they worship them. Are the Greeks Africans? They are white, they are European, but they worship gods, they worship ancestors. So why do you say ancestral worship is an African religion? The Greeks are worshiping gods. They worship ancestors. They believe in idolatry. They are not Africans. So if you want to deceive me to fall into ancestral worship, you will say it's an African thing. It's not an African thing. It's not an African thing. Africans happened to take it as part of their religion and follow it. Ancestral worship is like saying I'm a Muslim. It's like saying I'm a Buddhist. It's like saying I'm a Hindu. It's not an African thing. So you have to decide not to follow idols. You can't be a child of God and follow idols. That doesn't work. You can't be a child of God and follow idols. When you are a child of God, you are a child of God. If you are into idolatry, go into idolatry. Don't mix them. Don't mix them. And that is one thing I will stand against in South Africa. I will not agree to ancestral worship. In actual fact, most of you have access to the internet. Go and check, there's a nation called Romania. Go and check the witch doctors and ancestral worship of Romania. It's bigger than the one in South Africa. And Romania is in Europe. And they worship idols, they are into ancestral worship, they are into witchcraft. They actually have witches in the parliament. I'm not saying witches that are hidden. Known witches who are in the parliament representing witches and representing witch doctors in the parliament in Romania. The way witch doctors are making money in Romania, in Europe, the way they are making money, the government of Romania decided that they want to start taxing witch doctors because they're making a lot of money. And when they said that, the witch doctors came together. This has never happened in Africa. I'm talking about Europe. If this is an African thing, why are there witch doctors so much in Romania, where it's not Africa? Witch doctors came together. They went to the parliament and they told the president and everybody in the parliament, they said, pass the law of taxing witch doctors. We will put you on wheelchairs, every one of you. It's there on the internet. They said, we'll put you on wheelchairs, every one of you. The government said, we are sorry. Because they're scared of those witch doctors. They said, we are sorry. In Romania, the witch doctors are in control. This is not Africa. That is Europe. So what are you trying to say when you say the issues of witch doctors and ancestral worship and idol worshiping? It's an African thing. When Europe has been doing it for many